Hi, this is Nicole Roberts-Jones, and welcome to Amplify Your Brilliance. What I know for sure is that one of life's greatest gifts will meet you when you go after your more. And so here is where I share with you thought-provoking insight and behind-the-curtain conversations with women who have reached the pinnacle of success because they went after their more. And I really want you to get this. One idea from these episodes can make a remarkable difference, not just in your business, your career, but in your life. Also, make sure you join the conversation in our Facebook group. Go to thebrilliancetribe.com. Now grab your pen as we begin today's session of Amplify Your Brilliance. Hello, and welcome to this episode of Amplify Your Brilliance. Now, I think I say this every time I welcome someone, introduce someone to you all, but I'm so excited because I have watched the trajectory of this woman's career shift in ways that people don't even know is possible for them. And her name is Dr. Vikki Johnson. Now, Vikki is a transformational speaker. She's a chaplain and a best-selling author who has transformed the lives of over 500,000 women. She mentors women to be great in the mirror first, then amazing in the marketplace. Just thinking of that makes me want to scream, right? Her most recent book, Soul Wealth, Finding Vision, Compassion, Authenticity, Abundance, and Legacy in the Midst of Chaos, guides the reader to a life of perpetual peace and bliss. Now, if that wasn't enough, she's an Emmy Award-winning media professional. She had a successful 18-year career at BET and currently serves the mayor's office of cable television, film, music, and entertainment in the film division. So I could go on and on, but let's hear from a woman. Welcome, Dr. Vikki.
Thank you so much, Nicole Roberts-Jones. I'm so honored. I'm so excited.
Beyond excited.
You don't understand.
You don't understand. No, my spirit is jumping up and down right now. I'm trying to contain myself because I already talk fast. And then when I get excited, it gets worse.
Oh.
So with that, tell the ladies that are listening, and I'm going right in, y'all, because I already know this is the kind of woman that can, right? What has standing your truth done to your ability to grow your business or your career?
Standing in my truth has first landed me in a place of perpetual peace. And that is what I'm passionate about at this point in my business and career is to guide women to that place of authenticity so that they can live in perpetual peace. That's what people want. At the end of the day, we seek more money because we want peace. We want to be in circles and rooms because we want peace. We want to be affirmed by particular people because we feel that is going to give us peace. And the reality is standing in your truth attracts all of those things that we go on this journey in pursuit of. And when you just agree with who God birthed you to be, all of those things come to you. You become a lighthouse, you become a magnet. And that's what standing in my truth has done for me. I've spent so much time being or attempting to be what I thought other people wanted me to be, starting with my parents. And they didn't put that pressure on me. I put it on myself. If I do this, my mom and dad will be proud of me. If I do this, my family will be proud of me. If I do this way, my pastors will be proud of me. My friends will be proud of me. So it was a constant pursuit of people pleasing. At the end of the day, when you get to the bottom line, that's what it is. And none of that stuff was sustainable. I was like, this isn't it. I would get to the end of myself and know inherently there's more.
Get to the
There's
end.
More. So
look, she's dropping nuggets. Look, she said, I would get to the end of myself. But before I start digging into that, what's so interesting, something you said, what popped into my mind is, and all of us, me included, we look for an outside answer to an inside inkling, right? To an inside, like stirring. And so for you, successful career, a career that, and you and I are similar in that because we both come from entertainment. So doing the thing I dreamed of since I was little, but then I felt like, okay, something is missing. So tell us about that moment for you when you knew, okay, this isn't it. Take us to that place where you had that awakening.
Well, I've had many seasons in my 53, almost 54 years of life. My life has been in seasons, and for each season, I am grateful because I learned another part of me, another part of who I am. And in those seasons, I had grace for what I was doing until I no longer had grace for it. So when I got to that point where I'm tired, I'm not excited anymore, I don't have the energy anymore, I don't have the patience anymore, I don't have the capacity anymore, that's when I knew there was more.
Right, before you finish that, because stay there, I want to make sure that those of you that are listening, some of you are in that place right now. And I want you to acknowledge it for yourself. There's no coincidence that you're here listening to this. Some of you are at that very place that you feel like, okay, this is it. And so I just want to say that out loud for every woman that's listening, because I know what you're getting ready to say. Now, of course, your journey is not going to be like her journey, but you will give her some fuel to move her into her more. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I was tired. Right. Whereas before, that assignment was energizing me. And when I was getting to the point where what I once loved now was draining, I knew it was time for a shift. And this last shift I knew it was coming, yet even when it came, it felt unexpected. And that's when I transitioned from my career at BET because in my mind, I was going to retire from there. I was so into what I was doing, I was going to retire. Right. However, corporate had other plans. They closed down the DC office. So it wasn't just me, it was hundreds of people who were thrust into a transition. And I was unemployed in the way that I had been employed for 3 years. Okay. Even though I had these side hustles, and thank God for the side hustles and the multiple streams, because that was sustaining me. And that's the last time you and I talked. I was in that place. However, my corporate career ended expectedly yet unexpectedly. And when it did, it thrust me into a place of who am I now in this part of me, because so many people had attached what I had been doing for so long to my identity. And then I got in this place, I started reaching out to people that I had helped, and you know that story. Right. And the truth is, your harvest most of the time does not come from the fields in which you planted them.
Ooh, wait a minute. Stop right there. Your harvest doesn't come. See, she dropping nuggets and then she keeps it moving. It's like, no, girl, we got to hear that again. Your harvest doesn't always come in the field you've planted them in. Ooh, that is so good.
Not right away, they don't. You know, you're like, oh, I helped this person in their career. Oh, I got this sponsorship for them. I know when I call now, they'll answer. Well, I was no longer attached to the brand that I was working under. And so that's the first reality check. Were they in relationship with me, or were they in transaction with me because of who I was attached to? Right. And most of the time I found out that it was latter. So that's painful. Then I'm applying for jobs that I'm overqualified for. Right. In the 3-year period, in full transparency, Nicole, I applied for hundreds of jobs. I did not get a single interview. And that's got to be hard. After you've had an 18-year career, you've got a resume that people are dying to get, and yet you can't even get a job. Could not get an interview. All right? So that really thrust me into what felt like a dark hole, to be frank with you. Yeah. That I did not even have the energy to do the things I was doing on the side. I can remember during that 3-year period, I had speaking engagements lined up that I had to cancel a few speaking engagements because I had nothing. I had nothing to say, nothing to give. And it was a moment where I felt like I had been arrested. Be still. Be still, Vicky. Either you trust God the way you say you do, or you don't. And this is where you get to trust God, because we don't really need faith when everything is going well. Come on. Right. You need your faith when you don't know what is next. And I really did not know what was next. And what's so deep is we don't often think that literally faith, and this is Hebrews 11:1, y'all, I didn't write this. Faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We forget about the not seen part. We forget about that, right?
And the thing that when you just said you felt arrested, what just came in my mind, and oh my God, this keeps being on replay for me, right? I said this at an event I spoke at last month. I'm like, what month are we in? Last month. And I felt this in my spirit in the moment. I said, some of you are in this room and you don't realize that there's a warrant out for your arrest. And I was silent. And I said, let me tell you what I mean. I said, you've been living this life that everybody else has told you that you're supposed to do or be. But God has another whole separate life that he has written out for you from the time you were born that you have not even tapped into yet. And it's that life that the warrant's out. There's a picture of you on the wall of heaven. And they're like, when is this person going to do the job I have for her to do? And it feels like in that moment for you, that's really what God was trying to drum up. That's why nothing was working. You had everything and yet nothing at the same time.
Everything and nothing at the same time. And so I'm still answering your question. This is when I started coming into who I am now.
Yes.
Or having an awareness, let me say, because I've always been her.
Yep.
It's the awareness. My awareness started activating.
And you know what's so deep? And the only reason I keep interrupting you is because somebody's in this place and I want y'all to get it. This story's good, so trust, I want you to keep going. But here's the thing that I found, even in my own journey, that God will shut it all down so he can get your full attention. Because you've gotten little inklings here or there, but you just, and I can't say for you, I'm going to say for me, I'll just keep moving. Like, okay, I see it, but I'm second guessing it. So I just keep doing the thing that I know. And at some point, he shuts it all down so you can do nothing but listen.
Nothing but listen. So during this weekend, I'm coming down to like the bottom line of the answer. I was in Florida.
This is good. So you ain't got to rush, girl. It's all good.
I was visiting my parents and I was going to fly back to fulfill a commitment, a speaking engagement that I had. And I called the organizer and I said, I have to cancel. I'm so sorry. I just have nothing to give. And the organizer was someone that I trust. We have a similar relationship to you and I. So I felt safe with her to tell her the truth of what was going on. And I started crying in the conversation. And she said, Vic, what's going on?
Right.
And I said, I just have nothing. I have nothing. Like when I tell you I'm at the bottom emotionally, spiritually, like I'm getting a little emotional now because I remember how heavy I felt. Yes. And she said, Vicky, I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. I will cover you. And what is your PayPal?
Ooh, that would have made me fall out even more so. Girl.
And it wasn't money, but the fact that she leaned into the place I was in. She said, and what is your PayPal? And I gave it to her. When I hung up the phone, she sent me $500. And I sat in that moment and I felt like her asking and then taking action was God's way of giving me a second win. And so I let that sit. I went to the beach, came home, stayed a few more days. And on my way back in the airport, I get a phone call from someone that I had helped years ago saying, send me your resume. It was all in the same weekend. Send me your resume. And I want you to attach this note, say this, copy me, send it to me, because I think I have something for you. Did that, sent it to the person that night. About midnight, got a response from the person saying, can you come in and see me tomorrow? And just like that, Nicole, I was employed again.
Yep, it all shifted. Yep.
Just like that. Like when I gave up, when I got to nothing, like when I got to, okay, God, my hands are up. I'm tired of running, right? Tired of trying to figure it out, do it my way.
Right.
It's in a moment, it changed.
Yeah.
And then I'm in a new season, just like that.
Yeah. But it all shifted in your surrender.
Yes, it shifted in my surrender. It absolutely did.
Of how you thought and I'm saying this to you, Dr. Vikki, but somebody that's listening needs to hear this, how you thought it was supposed to look. Look, that same thing happened to me. I remember when I worked in entertainment and I kept feeling like something was missing. Now, I was in my 20s when I left, so that's when I was still going to the parties. Let me keep it all the way real. And I was having a great time. And all my friends kept saying, what do you mean you feel like something's missing? Girl, we just went to the so-and-so party last week. What are you talking about? And every time I tried to talk to one of my friends about it, they kept saying, girl, you have lost your mind. And I did feel like I had lost my mind because I had, ever since I was little, since I was 8 years old, dreamed of this career. And yet something was nudging at me and literally it shifting everything. I felt crazy. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't get paid for it. So it was I don't call it side hustle, alongside, right? It was alongside my 9 to 5, but I couldn't discount it. And every time I tried to run from that, not run from entertainment, I tried to run from that. Now, I kept feeling like guilty, but yet I felt crazy at the same time. So I get it. I felt guilty and crazy all at the same time. My friends think I'm crazy. This has no title. This was before there was a such thing as a life coach or a coach, period. And so I get it. I get it. We're going to stop here and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back for more. Have you realized that you've been built in someone else's $1 billion brand, and there's a $1 billion brand in you? And I wonder if you even know that you can begin your business now without letting go of your paycheck. And see, that's why I wrote my free ebook alongside my 9 to 5. So go grab your copy at alongsidemy9to5.com. By the way, that's the number 9 and the number 5. Alongsidemy9to5.com. See, most people tell you to quit to begin your business. And what I know for sure is that's setting you up for failure. Why? Because even if you've saved a year's salary, you've got to spend money to make money. And so the wisest choice you can ever make is to begin to build your business alongside that 9 to 5. Listen, I created the ebook alongside my 9to5.com to give you all the insight you need to start and plan your business with grace and ease. Because who wants to hustle? See, I want to teach you how to make money while you sleep. Yes, you can generate income while you're sitting in your office, even while you're conducting a meeting. See, you can be doing all of that and your business can and will generate revenue for you. So go grab your copy alongside your 9to5.com. And so for you in this moment, in this shift of everything, I know you had an awakening.
I did have an awakening, and the awakening was being attached to nothing connects me to everything.
Yes, I love it. Tell us more about that.
So I let go. I surrendered what I thought this next place was going to look like.
Yep.
I just surrendered that. I'm not attached to what it looks like. I'm not attached to who I'm connected to, but I'm open. Now I'm ready. Yeah. And then it showed up.
Yeah.
So now I'm breathing again. I have energy again. I have passion again. And soon after, I started writing again and was able to finish my book that I just released in August. I was able to really pull back all of my energy that had been scattered in my pursuit of my next. I pulled all that back in and put that in the direction of soul wealth. And when I did that, when I became unapologetically soul wealth, when I began to embody soul wealth, the Vikki people see today is who showed up.
So tell us
more. And the truth is, she was in there all the time.
Right. So tell us about soul wealth, like what it is without, go look. And if you want to know all of it, buy the book. But give us an overview of soul wealth, like what it is and how it helps you get to this place of perpetual peace.
Okay, so in December of 2014, I did a TED Talk on the power of sacred sisterhood. And the power of sacred sisterhood is when women connect, collaborate, and create community. The result is soul wealth. That's the download I got. It came to me just like that. And I was like, wow, soul wealth. And then I heard 3 John, I would that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers, which says your life can only be as healthy as the state of your soul. So your soul has to be wealthy, healthy. There has to be well-being. So then that question I asked, well, what is the definition of soul wealth? Vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy. First in the mirror. If I don't have a vision for me, I can't guide women to a vision for their lives. If I don't have compassion for me, I'll continue to betray myself and allow other people to betray me too. And I have to be authentic. I have to show up as who God designed me to be so I can unlock that authenticity in other women. And that authenticity now unlocks my abundance of joy, peace, love, intangible prosperity, right? Tangible success. And then I'm able to create a legacy. And so that is the concept of soul wealth that God just keeps expanding. So I have Soul Wealth Academy, and that's where I mentor women. I have 128 mentees right now. Then I do Soul Sun and Spa Weekend, which is an exclusive gathering of my mentees in one place annually in Florida, on the beach. I do that every December. I have a home collection of scented shades, soy candles, and T-shirts, room and linen sprays. Like it just keeps expanding. Then I collaborated with a sister, Yetta Young, who has incense, love, and meditation, and we created a limited edition Soul Wealth Ascension Incense collection. It was phenomenal. Like it sold out. And hopefully we'll be able to do that again. I'm now working on a limited edition Soul Wealth bracelet, a beautiful gemstone bracelet. Like it just keeps expanding, right? The more I walk in alignment with who I am, God is like, okay, do this. Here's another idea. Do this. I have coming up a Soul Wealth Sacred Weekend for women who are dealing with grief and loss and mourning. Like the vision keeps expanding, and I just keep saying yes, right? And that's what happens when you embody your purpose and your passion. But that only happens when you acknowledge the pain.
And when you allow yourself to learn the lesson through it too, because it's through the pain that you learn your greatest lessons. It's what's so interesting is the Bible verse says all things work together for the good. Not some things, not a few things, but all things, right? I remember being at an event and I'm talking about purpose, and this woman says, I use Michelle Obama as an example in her book Becoming. If you've been listening to my podcast, you guys have heard me talk about this. In her book Becoming, she talks about the fact that she was a lawyer, right? And she had gone to law school. She had spent all this time, all this energy in becoming a lawyer, and she realized she hated it. And so in that moment, because she hadn't done anything else, she didn't know what the heck else she was going to do, right? And that's a place that we all come to, that you get to a place where enough is enough. Maybe you don't hate it. Maybe you just feel like I'm complete with this. Or maybe you feel that for me, it wasn't that I hated entertainment, because, at some point, hopefully entertainment, I have a full circle moment, but it just wasn't a good fit for where I was in that moment, right? Let's be clear, I was only using 20% of my gifts in that moment. I'm bringing that up because a woman said to me at an event, well, do you think that was a waste of time for her to be a lawyer? I said, the Bible verse says all things, not some things, not a couple things, all things work together. So do you think that she would have been a great first lady if she would not have had her legal ease? Because some of the conversations that she was having was because she went to law school and because she knew how to get around an issue, which is what you learn in law school. I said, so we can't take for granted any of what we've gone through. And even the bad works together for our good if we allow it. When I think of bad breakups I've had, which didn't feel good in the middle of it, but I realized I can either be bitter or I can get better. I can learn a lesson so I don't date him again and look at how did I get here, not blaming it on him, but looking what's the lesson in it for me? How did I get to this place, right?
Yeah, I just want to say that is so true and so real that every experience is a part of who you are and or of who you're becoming, because that 3-year period when I was, I'm going to say, unemployed in a corporate position, because I did have streams flowing, but I got real clear about what it is to be in breakdown and what it means to break through. And then what it means to break open to a completely new normal. Now in my corporate position, I'm in film. Who would have thought that I'm dealing with movie studios and actors and actresses and location managers and representing the city on the mayor's special events task group. That was nowhere in my purview, Nicole. Like I just did not see that. But my point is, now the women that are being drawn to me guess what? They're in breakdown.
Yes.
They're breaking through after a breakdown, or they're breaking open after breaking through after a breakdown.
Yep.
And so I say that just to reiterate again what you said about experience. It all works for you. It's all a part of now your toolkit and your treasure chest, that when you get to your next place of purpose, now you have a treasure chest and a toolkit to pull from to be able to speak life to a woman who is where you used to be.
Yes.
And that is the full circle moment for me. When I was in that dry, what felt like a dry place, I knew it was going to work for my good.
But it showed
I just had to walk through it. I just had to get through it.
Right.
And that's what I say to some sister listening today. Where you are is not all there is. You just have to get through this moment, moment by moment.
Yep.
And then one day you'll be out.
Yep.
And I offer that you're closer to coming out than if you give up and try to turn around and go back, or just give up and surrender where you are, and settle. Don't settle.
No.
Keep your expectation alive is what I want to say. Keep your expectation alive, because better is coming.
Whew. Better is coming. And aren't you a testament,
coming.
Girl? Aren't you a testament?
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for sharing. I mean, for being transparent, right? For even being willing to talk about the 3-year hiatus, because that's really what it was. And it felt like a hiatus in the middle. But but the time that God pulled you out to go into your wilderness moment, right? So that you could come back. And literally, the thing that I love about listening to your story is the soul wealth that gets not just imparted in you, but in all the nations of women that now you get to work with, because you went through that, because you didn't just read it in a book. You know how many people come up to me on a side note, that come up to me that read a book that then wants to teach somebody? Girl, you ain't been through nothing. How you going to teach somebody because you read a book? Girl, sit down somewhere, right? So, but you've been through it. So you can actually help somebody because you've had the experiences, and it taps into the expertise you already had as a chaplain, as a speaker, it pulls into all of who you already were, like you said. So thank you. That was so good. So as we close out, because girl, believe it or not, it's almost 30 minutes. That went by really fast, right?
Wow. It did.
So if there's one thing, like a favorite quote, a favorite piece of advice, one thing you want to leave the ladies with, what would it be?
I have several, but what I want to leave the women with today is that God is great in you, through you, for you, as you. And let me just expound on that a minute. The things that are happening to you are happening for you, so that God can be great in you, so that as you move into your next place of purpose, God will show up as you. Ooh. Isn't that powerful?
Girl, that's so good. That's so good. When I think about just listening to you, and I'm getting chills, right? And let me tell you guys, so if I go into letting the spirit take over, I go into an ugly cry. So I'm trying to hold it back, because y'all don't want to hear me ugly cry on a podcast. So when you said that, what's so deep, and many people don't realize this, is that without you, God won't do it. Meaning that he gives us free will. So he's not going to make you do anything. But what he wants to do is be a vessel, or he wants us to be a vessel in his service. So it really is for you. It's for you, but it's in his service. And it's so good because it doesn't shift from anything that you already are.
Right.
Woo. That's so good.
And when you agree with that, there is this, if I just may add this quickly,
yes,
Job 22, you're making me cry, Nicole. I'm trying to not mess up.
Girl, you making me cry too, so.
Job 22, the Amplify version says, agree with God quickly so you can have peace and good will come to you. What does that mean? That means once you agree with God and come into alignment with his vision, with God's vision for us, then you live a life of perpetual peace, favor, and love. And that's really the ultimate goal, is we want peace, we desire favor, and we want love. So just agree with God. The bottom line of that quote, agree with God, so that you can manifest all of the things that are in you. Okay, I'm going to just stop.
Girl, well, let me just thank you for agreeing with God. Thank you. No, seriously, thank you for, getting through those 3 years, which I know were not easy, but because you came through, you were bringing other women through in the journey. And so we're blessed because you went through it. So thank you for that. And thank you for joining us today. Love you, girl.
I love you too.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Amplify Your Brilliance. Now, I want you to walk away from these sessions with value, so answer either one or all three of these questions. Number one, what was your greatest takeaway? Number two, what will you do different as a result of what you heard? See, you may have heard something you've already heard, or you may have learned something new. Either way, don't take the insight that was shared with you for granted. So commit to doing one thing different as a result of what you heard. Number three, what was confirmation for you? What did you hear that confirmed you're on the right path? See, I want you to take a moment and celebrate you. Too often in our journey, we focus on what we're not doing and we forget to celebrate what we are doing. So I want you to share with us something that showed you that you're on the right path. Now again, share. Share either answer number one, what was your greatest takeaway? Number two, what will you do different? Or number three, what was confirmation for you? And share it in our Facebook community. Go to thebrilliancetribe.com and use the hashtag #AmplifyYourBrilliance. See, each experience we encourage, support, and celebrate as a community. It allows us to expand in possibility and wisdom, in encouragement and love. Now, we've invited you into this community to deepen our journey with being the answer somebody needs and being committed to your next level. So until the next time, be extraordinary, be unapologetic, be bodaciously you, go and amplify.